Market Makers Militia, happy Friday, guys. I'm Brendan, the Crypto Buddha from Market Makers. So pleased to have the new subs. Glad you guys are enjoying the videos. We had a parabolic pump, didn't we? Yesterday, today, depends on your time zone, but you see it rise right up here in the LMF filter. Look at this. We had our double top break, sold off, and then boom, mega pump. We're going to dive right into that. Was this pump good or did it do more harm than good? I'm going to show you that data in a pattern. I'm showing you this zoomed out view for a reason, guys. A week ago, I told you our kill box, our top number we have to get out of is 48K, right? I told you a couple days ago, Crypto Savvy did a live stream. He said 47.8, very close to mine, right? Cointelegraph wrote an article yesterday at Professional Traders said 48K is the number to beat. I gave you this number a week ago. Crypto Kirby did a video yesterday, 46 to 52K. Why am I telling you this? I want you to see where they're getting these numbers from. I did it by volume analysis, as you guys know, few videos back. You can go look at that if you're interested. But what they're all looking at is this, guys. They're all looking at this. See these clusters of candles along the 48K line? This big cluster over here, okay? These are both support and resistance. And since price is beneath them, it's resistance. Again, I did this by volume analysis, but it ends up being the same thing. Two different methodologies to get the same number, okay? You need to understand this because if we get above this, you have this as support and then price can do this, right? It doesn't have to just be whale pumps. You can start consolidating, start moving up. That's what you want to see to be bullish in this situation. Let's zoom in on the current time frame, guys. So we had this pump and your instinct would be, look at Bitcoin. It is pumping. This is such a good, healthy pump, right? My instinct is, what pattern did we just make? And I'm going to show you guys that right now, okay? So if you look at this, we had what many people were calling was going to be a head and shoulders, including myself, right? I called this pattern a head and shoulders before this even happened, right? But I said you have a double top. It's going to break if you get velocity to come down. I gave you the neckline. I gave you all this information well before it happened. Many people in the room were trading this, and it broke, and it consolidated down here. We didn't get the pattern completion, but it consolidated down here, and then you have this pump, right? Now, your instinct is this shows the market wants to go up. This does not show the market wants to go up. I will show you why that is, because what this really is now is a triple top. This is not a head and shoulders. Head and shoulders would form lower than your peak. You have 3 points almost all identical to each other. This is called a triple top in pattern trading. And what this signifies is 1 failure to break a key resistance level, 2 failures to break a key resistance level, 3 failures because the price is rolling to break a key resistance level. This is a very bearish pattern, and as this starts to descend and come down here towards the neckline and breaks, I gave you price targets here for you guys to see. Now what we have with this pattern is interesting because you chart it the same way you chart a head and shoulders, okay? But because we have this cluster of candles, normally you'd want to see that up here for a touch point, right? So the traditional neckline would be right here, okay? So this first price target of 42,692 is based on a pattern up here at the traditional neckline. You could almost view this second level as a take profit too, because this could end up being the neckline based on this cluster of candles. We don't know, okay? You don't know. This is just pattern targets are literally what they are. Targets. They're targets for pattern completion. That brings you to 41,502. 42,692. Okay, you need to look at those two numbers. This is again if this comes down and starts descending and breaks the neckline. Trading in the most manipulated financial asset in the known world at any given time, you guys all know you can see this, okay? I hate to say that every video, but we have new people, but you guys know that. So when you hear my TA and you hear the predictions, you need to understand the market we are trading in because it's so important at any given time. Down here, you can see this. And again, I gave you the tools to analyze if that's what it was, because this market, you can make a ton of money. Right? I've told you many times, do not fight the whales. Load your harpoon, throw it, hit them, go along for the ride. That's how you make money in this market. This market is about opportunity. Yes, it's heavily manipulated. We all have to recognize that if you're trading in this market, because they own half the Bitcoin in circulation, is owned by institutions and whales, okay? And that's not 5 people. That's tens of thousands of entities around the world. So to think that they all sit there and talk on a conference call, they don't. But they use bots to trade. They use algorithmic trading. There's many different techniques, and a lot of times they end up making similar moves, okay? So you guys have to understand that. So let's look at this and see where we are in this trend I'm going to show you the support levels real quick, and then we're going to get into the volatility, okay, because it's so important. So we are at 46,373. We're above, just holding on to the support for dear life. And again, you got to watch for that descension, okay, because if you descend down here and you break that neckline, you're going to dump again. So that's the support levels. Let's look at the volatility. So the volatility, oh, it's coming down again. So what you want to see with volatility, I told you guys this yesterday. This is ATR. Wells invented this, the same guy that invented the RSI that you all use. I suggest you use ATR. When volatility spikes up, you get big movement in candles. Okay, that's good for a pump or a dump. And volatility is descending towards my pre-map baseline that I threw down here. At any time, again, this could just go like this. But typically what happens is it comes to a rest for some period of time. A day, a minute, a week, it doesn't matter. Highly volatile asset, it won't be too long. And at some point, it'll do that, and you'll have a big price movement down or up. And we are heading into a low volume weekend. Weekends are almost always lower volume than the week, guys. You got to understand that concept too, because it's very key to know when there's going to be manipulation, they like to do it cheap. They don't want to make it expensive, okay? So let's look at this. Let's see if these candle trends were organic or were whales involved. And actually, there's not many whale. I mean, compared to the previous whale spikes, you got this one right here, right? And this is, let me flip this down so I can get a reading for you. 1.7 times out of trend. And it's on the very first tiny volume candle. You're always going to see this because they lead the way. This is how they make money, okay? When they switch sides on positions, that's how they make money. They lead the way. They're the very first volume candle right here, okay? And then retail comes in, and look what happens. Retail comes in just like you can see it up here. Your pump candle, of course, is the institutions. All of this is retail. If they took long positions or they bought Bitcoin, their price went up. You see that? That's how they make money. And then they switch positions, rinse and repeat over and over again. You can see this in the volume. Again, this measures asset flow, the PVT. This measures money flowing into the asset, okay? And it does a calculation, shows you the volume. Relative volume shows you how at a trend the volume is for that level, okay? Both are time segmented. You can read about them. All right, so let's look at the 4-hour, guys. 4-hour time frame is going to be very similar, right? Very similar. You have your double top already here, but again, lagging because it takes 4 1-hour candles. So you're forming your triple top right now, but it's going to be very similar. Let's do a price prediction. I like to do polynomial trend regression analysis and get a price prediction because it changes as the trend changes, and now you're at 40,142. Yesterday, you were at 39.6. What were my predictions down here for the pattern completions? They were 42 and 41. I like to see how close they are. Yesterday, they were within 150 points of each other, okay? But again, this changes as the trend changes. So 40,142, this is 16 days of trend, 16 and a half days of trend. So look for Bitcoin. If it does start to pull back and fall down, that's a prediction level to be trading in the median range, meaning the average over the last 16 days for the movement of the bars measured in with volatility and least squares moving average. Very complex calculation. You can read that paper on it. It is like 3 pages long. Not an enjoyable read. Let's look at our daily, guys. Daily, again, lagging. You get one candle, 8 o'clock Eastern, right? But you have the double top still. And as I said, I still expect this. If that triple top starts to roll down more, this is going to start printing candles. And this can take time, guys. This could take days. This could take a week or two because you got to get the candles down in this box if you want to see the price descend. So where's 25K Bitcoin? My man that keeps posting that, you have to have pattern completions. And if this head and shoulders that hasn't formed yet, and again, this could just be a double top that breaks if the candle magically broke. Either way, you break this neckline, you land at 28K Bitcoin. The price bias of Bitcoin, guys, whether you want to hear it or not, is to go down. It's to go down because that's why the price keeps rolling over in this market over and over again, making bearish shapes in a low volume area because there's no price support. One more thing I want to show you, 2018 bear market. You see the pumps you can get in the bear market. 97% pump, 45% pump, 46% pump. This is after you had your peak. I'm not fully convinced, guys. I'm not fully convinced there's as much money in crypto now as there was during the bull run, okay? Friends and family, small sample size, they're all out of crypto. They all lost interest with that rolling, moving market, right? Everybody is negative that held before May 12th waiting on 200K Bitcoin. I'm here because you can make a lot of money. And my personal belief is if we find a bottom where the market actually wants to buy, somewhere down back here, down in the 20s. My price prediction was 20 to 25K Bitcoin based on pattern completion of a fall from a descending triangle going back to May 12th. Okay, that's where that number comes from. But if we can find that bottom, 20, 25K, it could be 27K. We don't have candles yet. We have to see how it plays out. The market may come back alive, okay, back to life. And that's what we need to see to have an organic bull run. Because if you're just going to rely on whale pumps, you're just going to be chasing price the whole time. Just like you have, you can go back with your 2 volume indicators and look at every single whale pump on the way and imagine how many people bought in after those whales who are now going to be negative when it all starts getting pulled down. That is the no hodl zone. You do not hodl in the kill box, okay? Because hodlers will take their savings, their $5,000 they worked their ass off to save up, buying coins, watching these guys on YouTube talking about 200K videos. And if this comes down, you are instantly negative, just like everybody that was holding before here, okay? Or everybody that bought the dip here on this big dip. I'm sure they all said buy the dip, and then you had this massive dip, okay? You have to understand where you are. We have guys taking profits now that are breaking even and looking to leverage in new positions as soon as we get some clearance. If we're going up, we want market clarity, or as we continue to roll. You don't go to a car dealer and buy a car that doesn't start. That's where you're at in this kill box, okay? Because you're printing bearish patterns and the bias is to roll. Guys, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you have fun with your friends and family. Check out our Discord, guys. We do our trade signals there. We do Forex TA. We have Elliott Wave Theory. We have a great admin team. We have a free side. We have over 600 people in the room now. Thanks to you guys. Really appreciate it. Please like the video. Please subscribe if you haven't. It helps the algorithm. I want people to see this information. We do not make our living off of YouTube, as you have noticed. So guys, I love it. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, guys. We will talk soon. Another video will come if there's a major move. If not, look for one tomorrow.